Okay, so it has been a while. I don't even know how long it's been. We had a crazy summer. And I don't even remember if I taped after we got back from vacation. So my niece got married, and then at the end of June we went to Yellowstone. So while in Yellowstone, the day before we got home, my husband decided to ride a horse for the first time in his life, and unfortunately fell off the horse. Now, thank goodness, only um, broke a couple of ribs and had a concussion. He was so lucky it wasn't worse. But it did make the next few weeks a little bit hectic. But we did complete summer school, and we started our fall break not too long ago. I guess like not too long after that. I mean, so we're coming up on our 6 weeks. Um, we're right at 6 weeks of school. We've been doing everything, and I mean, we have good days and bad days. The transition back is always exhausting, but we're really trying to step it up because it's sixth grade, and sixth grade is needs to be more rigorous and all of those things. And I still have to remind myself almost daily the why we're doing this, and I think some days are harder than others. I think about the plan to let her go back to public school and high school, which would be 3 more years, and I feel like we have so far to go before she's emotionally able to handle that kind of stress. She's really like, I don't know, it's just like she's a very right now kind of kid, if you know what I mean. But what I will say is that it's become very obvious to me that she is absolutely on grade level for English language arts. She still works with Mrs. Guess 3 hours a week, and we started Heart and Story, kind of the whole thing, and I mean, she's not having any issues. Now, we don't read the books, we listen to the books on tape just because she reads with Miss Guest 3 hours a week, and I want it to be like a literary experience. Like, I want her to have more and more books that she listens to. And so we started, we'd already done Double Dutch, and then we started Starry River of the Sky, which she wasn't a super big fan of, and then I started Watership Down, which I think is going to be really cute. Both of which we're going to do, but just have to get her buy-in a little bit more. We're continuing with writing. We're going very, very slowly through IW. I'm adding, like, I basically have 2 of the curriculums, so I'm just taking like double time to do it. So I'm doing like 2 full unit 1s, 2 full unit 2s. So we're still in unit 2. I have no interest in speeding through this. She's doing great, and every time we do it, she gets more and more, and so we're slowly working on those skills and scaffolding up. So English language arts, I'm really happy with. I think she's definitely closed all the gaps she needed to close in the last 2 years, and that's mostly because of Mrs. Guest. Unfortunately, our math tutor, Mrs. E, suddenly moved to Tennessee, which was really hard. She didn't know she was going to move. Her husband got a job unexpectedly that he had applied for, and she was really our math backup. So that's stressful. We do have another tutor that's going to do about an hour a week, but definitely I'm going to have to figure out how to do math. And I will say it's really, really hard because when we get to things that she doesn't know, she kind of explodes. So I've always been the review person. But we're just going to keep chugging ahead, and we have this one tutor, and then we'll work on getting another tutor, um, for another hour or so a week. So she's been stressed because the new tutor is one that had worked with my son. That's not what she's stressed about, but like his style is different, and so we talked a lot about like how different teachers have different styles, and so you really have to accommodate that. History and science, I'm very excited about. We're doing astronomy, and we're using Calm the Chaos, and then I also got Night Sky from um, for the love of homeschooling. Now, I follow the mindful homeschooler. She's amazing. Her child is either like the same level or right above, and she's amazing at finding curriculum, like just the best recommendations. And so that unit is really matching well with Calm the Chaos. So we're able to really like it gives us a product that is like you have a product that is like you can see what you've done, right? So there's like some work, which is kind of my problem. Like I wish I was able to lean more into Charlotte Mason, but that has not been what I've been able to do. So I like having something to show for work. And I think Serenity does too. Like I think she looks back and she's able to flip through the old stuff and being able to see what she's done has helped. And she's also, reverse back to it from time to time and shows her family and things like that. So I really love that. And just in addition to that, we are doing social emotional, and again, um, that's something we got like Wonder Kids or something like that. We got that revelation from the Mindful Homeschooler, and it's like a friendship unit, and so we're just walking through it, and it's got really great stuff in it. Just kind of talking about friendships and who your friends are, and she really likes it, so we're going forward with that. For math, we're doing math with confidence, though that could change. Like that's what I'm doing with her. The tutor, I think, is just doing fractions, just really trying to get the fractions dialed in. I do need to go back and like kind of go back to division. And, I mean, we'll just keep at it. And then history, I have combined like history quest, the power of the people, and oh freedom. So like there's a big mesh. So like, and then I got stories of history. I got there sort of like printable stuff. And so everything kind of follows along. Like we're doing Second Industrial Revolution, and we'll do immigrations, and we'll do World War One, and all of that just sort of works, right? So we're in Industrial Revolution, so we're talking about inventors, and so it is a lot of fun. And then if we're driving in the car, we're either listening to literature or history, and so we're working on it. And I think that the content of what we have for those extra subjects is so rich, and I'm excited to kind of be in history and science with her this year. So I don't know, it'll be good. Tomorrow we learn about atoms, and it just blows my mind because I knew I learned about atoms in like sixth grade, but then like I didn't understand how to explain atoms to kids. Like you just tell them, right? You're just like they're atoms, and the atoms are small, and they're electrons and neutrons. And it's funny because you think like as you're teaching this stuff, you're like you just accept it as truth even though you can't see it. So instead of a very literal kid, I'm pretty interested to see how that's all gonna pan out. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's some days are a fight and some days are better, and I still think it's the right decision. And we're having some fun with it. She's getting older, and that looks different in a lot of ways. It could be, kind of rocky this year. I mean, she'll be 12 in November, and we've had a really wonderful year or so of her really having adapted and kind of settled in, and so I'm hoping that lasts. Although I think there is some turmoil to come. I really like who she is, and I really like, what's happening with us. So that's exciting. But anyway, that is the update. And so it's the middle of August, guys. My son's a junior this year, and we're working through AP Biology, and I already feel behind, and that's very stressful, but we'll get through it because at public school. But that's it. That's the update.